The next game that will be released is on the 2nd of September, and it's going to be Hello everyone, it's Luli, and today I'm going to be talking about the Otome games that are going to be released in 2022 and 2023. I basically want to make this video where I accumulate all the info and then kind of give it to you so that, you know, you don't have to go around searching everywhere. There are a couple that have been sort of announced recently, so, you know, but what I'll be doing is I'll be going through all of them and talking about the synopsis and, you know, how I felt about it a little bit, and yeah, because I've played most of them. But as always, what you may consider spoilers and what I may consider spoilers may not quite align, so if you're even slightly sensitive and you don't want to know the synopsis, then I would quickly move on. But anyway, let me start. So the first one that, well actually, you know what, I'll talk about one that was recently released actually, and I think it was released on, what is it, like the 18th of April or something, I don't know, but it's a game called Taisho Alice. I have only played one route so far, but I actually really adore it. It's about this girl, Alice. I can't remember her second name, I'm terrible with names, but she kind of wanders into this weird darkness, bumps into another Alice, and then it goes into kind of character selection of Red Riding Hood or Cinderella, because this game is split into 3 episodes. And basically the concept is that it's a fairy tale where Alice, the main character, rescues the you know, main characters who are male, even though, you know, Cinderella's female and Red Riding is also supposed to be female, but they're played by love interests who are male, and it's all about rescuing them. And I have heard, so I played Red Riding Hood, it's quite fluffy, sweet, I really enjoyed it, but I have heard that from the 2nd episode onwards, so the 3rd love interest onwards, it becomes very dark as they tackle a lot of mental health issues and such, so definitely read the trigger warnings before you jump straight into it or, you know, buy it. Anyway, next one. This was recently announced for the 9th of June. It's a game called Even If Tempest. Now, I'm not too sure what it entails because they've only kind of released bits on the website and such. I did make a video, however, of us exploring the website, so you may get more of a feel from that. It's kind of like, it's weird because it was released by Voltage, but for the Switch only, which this is a very strange occurrence because Voltage normally release games for the mobile, and then a couple of them did get ported to Switch, but they have always been kind of like a mobile company. So the fact that they have created this Otome game that is for Switch only and is fully voiced is very, it's not something everyone expected, but it's very, it gives off a dark feel. It looks like there's gonna be a witch hunt and it's fantasy based. There's like some beast thing that I don't know if they're gonna be in LI or I don't know. There's quite a few speculations and theories out there that people have come up with, and I think many of us are quite excited, including me. But yeah, so that's Even If Tempest. Next one coming up is a game called Birushana, Rising Flower of the Genpei. I'm gonna read the synopsis because every time I try to explain it, it all gets like muddled up and wrong. But this one is released. It's going to be released in North America on the 28th of June and July 1st in Europe, because, you know, Europe always gets it late, but whatever, we won't talk about that. But let me read the synopsis to you. It says, 15 years after the Heiji rebellion, the Heike clan has reached the height of its power while the Genji clan remains devastated by defeat. Hidden deep within the mountains of Kurama lives Shanao, the youngest surviving male heir to the Genji name. However, Shanao harbors a deep secret known by very few. The youngest heir to the Genji name is no man. Torn between her duty to live up to the Genji family name and her desire to live a peaceful life, Shanao sets off in hopes to take down the Heike stronghold and finally bring peace in the country. Her adventure leads her to find new cherished relationships as well as something deeper than the feud between the rivaling clans. So, as you can tell, it is a historical fiction. It is about a girl who is known to be like the son, I mean she's a girl, but son of the Genji clan, and it's very much the Genji clan and Heike clan clash, and they battle it out, and I really enjoyed it. I've binged the game like crazy, especially because I wanted to play Tomomori, a love interest, but it was recommended to last, and I did kind of want to save him to last. So I binged through all the other characters just to play him, and oh my god. Now, it's not too steamy, it's quite, you know, tame in that sense, but honestly, some of the routes, like there's a tragic end and a love end, and some of the tragic love endings was just, it left such an impression. One of them, and some of you who have watched quite a few of my videos may have heard me say this a billion times, but Noritsune's tragic love route, oh my gosh, it is my favourite bad ending, or favourite ending completely, I think. And I really hope that you will play his route, you know, first, because I think the ending is better when you know less. So honestly, I recommend playing him first. Noritsune, the pink-haired guy, okay? Play him first. But yes, it's definitely suited to those who like, you know, Japanese historical fiction. There is, however, a lot of gore, in the sense that, you know, it is lots of fighting and all of this. Anyway, I won't go into too much detail. Check out my review if you would like to know more. But yeah, that's the gist of it. Now, from this point onwards, it's very much speculation as to the release date. So quite often Amazon will put up like release dates of the games, but it's usually they're correct, but do not, you know, trust this completely. But I'm just telling you, you know, the release dates that Amazon have said, and I expect that's the order in which these games are going to be released. Again, this is my speculation based on, you know, other people's opinions and how they have experienced Amazon and their services. So, you know, take this info with a pinch of salt. But the next game that will be released is on the 2nd of September. And it's going to be Piofiore Episodio 1926, I believe. Yeah. So Piofiore Episodio 1926, so the Piofiore sequel, will apparently, according to Amazon, be out on the 2nd of September. So I'm hoping it's correct. They did say fall, so it all does, you know, kind of fall into place. I have not played Piofiore sequel because I want to play it with you guys. I want to, you know, join in with the hype when it all comes out. So yeah, I don't know too much about it, but I have heard that it's Piofiore, the, you know, original game, and then the Steam has been ramped up a little bit more. That's what I have heard. And also, I think you dip into a little bit more of the psychology behind some of the characters. At least that's what I have been told. So that's definitely something to look forward to. And I have guiltily purchased the limited edition, you know, so I'll be doing an unboxing of that at some point. I mean, I just, honestly, I was waiting for ages trying to make up my mind. And then it was like, stop. 30 to 10%, and I'm like, oh my god, it's going down. And I checked again and it was like, stock under 10%, and I was like, okay, bye. I am a sucker for time limits, it's actually terrible. But anyway, the next one planned for release is Amnesia Memories and Amnesia Later Crowd, and this apparently is going to release, again, according to Amazon, so take this with a pinch of salt, on the 20th of September. Now, Amnesia, I'm not gonna lie, this is one of my favourite Otome games that were localised. It is about a girl who, it's weird. The common route is she wakes up and the fairy's like, hey, wake up! Like, I mean, it's a bit like the pixie from, or Levi, was it, from Zelda, but he's like, hey, wake up! You know, we bumped into each other and now you've lost your memories and all this. And then you pick like one of the 4 worlds that each are respective of one of the allies, and then you enter that, and then, you know, you need to try and hide the fact that you can't remember anything, and they do a really good job kind of sort of making you feel like you've actually lost your memories. And this is coming from someone who has once lost their memories before, but like they just really make you kind of think, can I trust this person? You know, is this person who they say they are? And then you have to really consider the options you pick to make sure that they don't discover, that you've forgotten your memories, because according to the fairy, he's like, you need to really expose yourself to different experiences to get those memories back. And if people find out, you may end up being thrown in like a hospital or something, waiting till your memories come back, and which isn't good. But yeah, it's really good. It's very suspenseful. Some of the characters can, like, their expressions go from smiley to really scary. And I still remember playing this game for the first time, and I am a chicken. I was playing it and I was like, la 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 la, playing it. And then this character's face suddenly changed, and I was like, okay, time to turn it off. It's too late for scary faces and I'm gonna go back to sleep. So it is very suspenseful. You get like some characters that feel some malice towards you, but it is interesting in that in each world, these different side characters as well are actually turn out to be different people. So in one world, this character will be like, the cute friend of yours, whereas in another one she'd be a rival, and then so on and so forth. And there are just differences you see in each of the world. It really does give off like a different dimension, I feel. And there is a secret love interest as well. So that is Amnesia Memories. Amnesia Later Crowd is a fan disc, so it's basically Amnesia Memories, and then I believe it's the characters, kind of the love story type of thing that you can experience, as opposed to there being like an overarching plot. Please correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but that is what I believe is the case. But again, this is also has a limited edition, and not gonna lie, I'm tempted. I already have the PS Vita edition, so I really shouldn't be buying a Switch edition, but like, it was a long time ago and I feel like I can justify purchasing this game. Anyway, so that was Amnesia Memories and FD. The one after that, again, according to Amazon, is Love and Pretend, which is going to apparently be released on the 14th of October or thereabouts. Love and Pretend, such a cute game. This one's very fluffy. It's about a girl who doesn't have any memories of her father, and her mother died early, so she was brought up by her grandmother, and it's kind of almost like she wants to know what happened to her mom and who her father is, that sort of thing. And she also wants to be a scriptwriter because her mom was a scriptwriter. One day her supervisor comes along and it's like, oh hey, I'm going to be working on this, film that's by a famous director. I'm wondering if you can be my assistant. And it just happens to be that the actors and like the people involved either are families of people who are in a movie that her mother did the screenwriting on, and therefore she's suspicious of them potentially being her father. And so she agrees to be his assistant, though with like some other intentions, because she obviously wants the experience as someone who's aspiring to be a screenwriter, but also she wants to know who her father is, so she kind of joins for that reason as well. And then she ends up meeting all the different love interests. One's an actor, the other's another actor slash model, one's the son of the director, and one's the hair makeup artist and her childhood friend. And they are all, it's so fluffy and so cute. If you like contemporary games and you want something a bit fluffy, I mean, some of the bad endings are a bit like, whoa, what happened? But because they are so forced, you can kind of shrug them off, if you know what I mean. The romance is quite subtle in that she does have a slight phobia of men because she was not exposed to many guys. I kind of empathize with that because I'm a bit like that. But watching the romance grow is really cute, and so it's very much a character game where you enjoy the characters, if you know what I mean. It's not so much plot, but more a character game. But I did really enjoy it. It's not a game that I'd be like, please play it, but I'm like, yeah, buy it, because it's cute and it's fun and I enjoyed it. Now, so that was Love Pretend. Next up, and this one is the one I'm most looking forward to. This one is Paradigm Paradox. Now this one, apparently, according to Amazon again, is going to be released on the 11th of November or sometime around then. So I guess this is the one after that. It's going to be, yeah, it's basically, it has a lot of love interests, I believe, and basically it's about a girl who lives in this futuristic environment. So I believe it's quite sci-fi. This is one of the games I have not played, but it's a very sci-fi feel, and these monsters, they all live in like this dome away from the like protecting them from these like alien monsters, I guess. And one day, I believe, for some reason, despite the fact that she's not supposed to, she ends up wandering out of her dorm and then gets attacked by these monsters. And when she does, the people who rescue her are these magical girls. And yeah, so basically all the love interests turn into magical girls occasionally, and it's really weird. Like, I don't know, the concept is so strange, but I can imagine it being so interesting because this has never been explored in a Otome game before. So, you know, there's magical girls, and so basically she gets rescued by these magical girls, and all of a sudden all these like hot guys at school are like being really friendly to her and stuff, and then it just, I don't know. So I looked into the reviews that were mixed out of curiosity, and I've discovered kind of elements of why people may have felt the way they did. Firstly, there are so many characters, so the character routes are relatively short. Another point was that they thought it was going to be a comedy, and it turned out to be not a comedy at all. Apparently some of the backstories of the characters are incredibly dark. But to me, that is like, I'm curious what the backstories are now, so I really want to play it. Like, that's actually ramped up my hype for this game. And again, related to that point, another point was that because it's so plot heavy in the background of these characters, there wasn't that much romance. Like, it didn't really develop, like there wasn't that time for the romance to bloom, and so I guess some people felt like they were a bit disappointed. Another was they didn't feel like there was a need for there to be magical girls. So I don't know how the magical girl thing comes into play. However, I have heard that you've also got like the good people and the evil people, and you can date the evil people, but I think the evil people sorry, I've said that so many times, but the evil people, you get less of a romance between, or something like that. That's what I read. But so those are the reasons for people who are not that into it. From what I can tell, I feel like it was very much the contrast between what their expectations were against what, you know, what they actually got. So, you know, as a curious person, I really want to try this game just to see, you know, whether I like it or not, because clearly it's a split views regarding this, and who knows, it could be a, you know, a hidden gem and people just don't understand it. Maybe I will like it, who knows. I'm hoping that's the case. So I've pre-ordered that one as well, and I am super looking forward to it. And I think those are the games that are going to be released in full by Axis. Now the ones that are going to be released in, let me quickly check what I've put in. Oh god, I really should have like made notes on this, but okay, so we're talking about Taisho, Birushana, Piofiore, Paradigm Paradox, Love and Pretend, Amnesia. Oh yes, now the titles for 2023. So this is in no order because this is so far ahead that even Amazon can't really like predict, I guess. But it's Winter's Wish, Spirits of Edo. Now this is a game that I have done a review recently. It is about a girl, main character Suzuno. She is part of this clan where they can see emotions of people through a little string around their neck. So, you know, different emotions show different colors, and that allows her to read how that person is feeling. Now the problem is that all her clan kind of disappeared and there's only her left, and you know, she should have kept this a secret, but it was discovered, and then, you know, the townspeople started fearing her. So this starts with her living on her own because her father passed away, and yeah, it's quite lonely. One day a couple of guys from the government, and this is all set in, as you've probably guessed, the Edo period, since it's Spirits of Edo. But basically a couple of guys, couple of love interests come along and tell her that the government wants her because of her powers, because another thing she can do is see the black strings that appear when there are negative emotions, and when too many of those accumulate, it turns into these monsters. And so, you know, being able to predict that a monster's going to appear is incredibly handy to the government. So they invite her, she's like, okay, and then they go along, and it's kind of the story between her and these love interests. It's quite fun, actually. It's not one of my absolute favorites, don't get me wrong, but I think that's kind of correlated to the fact that, you know, I'm not huge on historical fiction, and I felt like the plot was relatively easy to kind of guess. Like, if I thought something was going to happen, it happened. And I don't know whether that comes from the fact that I've played loads of Otome games, or whether that comes from the fact that, you know, I just happened to, you know, it could be that it really is predictable, I don't know. But because of that, I wasn't too fond. I think it's quite a character game, really, where you would play it for the characters more than the plot itself. Note that I have made a review, so check that out as well if you would like to know this game in more detail. And last but not least is Jeanne. Sorry, you can tell the hype coming from me for this game. Now, firstly, it's because it's released. It's actually developed by Broccoli, which obviously most of the Otome games we've, you know, got as localizations have been by Otome. So the fact that a different developer has now, you know, agreed to get one of their games localized is really exciting news for all of us. Not to mention, Jeanne was such a... I really enjoyed it. It's about this girl who wants to be an actor, but it's kind of given up on that dream due to her circumstances. But one day, the principal of this school that's for boys and acting comes along and says, actually, I want you to come along and try and, you know, enter this school. And so she goes through all the exams and manages to pass, etc. And it's, you know, about her pretending to be a boy and going to this school and going through different, like, plays and, like, learning how to act and all of that. Has a tiny bit of gameplay, which is, you know, rhythm games and sort of stat adjustments and stuff. And so it's quite different from your usual Otome games. And not to mention the art is really pretty because it's by the same person that, you know, drew Tokyo Ghoul. The CGs are gorgeous, and the music, they really clearly worked hard on it because they stick in your mind and they just bring so much emotion to you, and it's so... yeah, you can tell that I got a little bit excited there. But that's also coming out in 2023, and yeah, I highly recommend it. That one's going to be by the localized by Axis. But anyway, I believe that ends this sort of summary of Otome games that are going to be localized. Let me double check, because I can be really dumb when it comes to this sort of thing. Let me just go through all the dates. So you've got Even if Tempest, which is coming out on the 9th of June. You've got the Birushana Rising Flower of the Genpei, which is going to be released on the 28th of June for North America and 1st of July for Europe. Yeah, again, we always get it late. Anyway, so those are the June releases. The next 4 are, you know, officially said to release in fall. So we don't actually know the dates. However, I have looked at Amazon, which often kind of get the time periods out, and it says that the first one is on the 2nd of September, which is Piofiore Episodio 1926, followed by Amnesia on the 20th of September, followed by Lover Pretend, which is on the 14th of October, and then Paradigm Paradox, which is going to be on the 11th of November. And so those are the ones that are released in fall that don't have a set date, but according, you know, you can sort of believe, like, apparently they tend to get the dates somewhat right. So you can obviously take that with a pinch of salt, but you know, I thought I'd mention it. And then in 2023 we have Winter's Wish, Spirits of Edo, and then after that Jeanne. So yeah, that's that. But oh my god, you don't understand how excited I am. Like, I know I've played most of them, but that's not the point. It's the fact that all of you guys can play it now, and then we can all talk about it. Oh, by the way, did I mention I've got a Discord server? Because we can talk about it there. If you don't have a Discord, then obviously message me on Twitter or something. But yeah, so I am super excited for everyone, including myself. But anyway, hopefully this video helped. As always, thank you very much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the content, and hopefully I'll see you in another one of my videos. Bye!